Gilbert the Good-Hearted Jackal, Gilbert Hears the Magic Clock by Alex Foster. On the 14th of April, in the savannah of Masai Mara, Kenya, Gilbert the Jackal was enjoying himself eating the vegetables for breakfast in the morning. But one peaceful day, he heard a small chiming noise in the far distance. So Gilbert was finished his food. He heard a faint chime again. "What's that noise?" he asked himself. "I know I was here something." Then his friends heard a faint chime too. Gwen the Spray-Hair said to Gilbert, "I know we heard a faint chime all right. I think we heard a big clock is coming from the distance." "A big clock?" barked Gilbert. "Okay, I'll go investigate the sound on the savannah and follow the trail sign where the big clock is coming from, Gwen." "Okay, you have to be careful, Gil," Gwen squeaked. "There's bad creatures on the grasslands, even hyenas and leopards." "Thanks for the warning," Gilbert replied, and he set off to the savannah trail and to find the big clock in the far distance. While Gilbert was walking around in the savannah, he saw a sign, and it says Glicken-Glocken, 1.5 miles. Gilbert thought this sign was strange. He looking for the big clock in this town known as Glicken-Glocken. One thing, he heard the very sinister laugh was behind him. And Gwen was right. "Tee-hee-hee!" laughed the voice. It was Miss Sour Hyena, and her young hyena cub Rocky said, "Tee-hee too." The hyena said, "Boy, that big clock was so noisy and so annoying in the very far distance. And the sign on that? Why, that never has been." "Well, believe me, miss," said Gilbert, "there was a wonderful sound in the distance. I think this big clock comes from this town of Glicken-Glocken. Everybody in Kenya heard it. Can you hear it, Miss Hyena?" "Humph!" the hyena grunted. "I don't want to hear another chiming noise again. You go to see the big clock, Jackal. My son and I gotta go search for carrion." And Rocky said, "Me too." And the hyena should run away. "Oh, those hyenas," barked Gilbert. "I'll show them who's the foolest. I will gotta prove the hyenas that the wonderful big clock was really exist." And he traveled to the savannah to find the big clock. Gilbert continued to travel. The Kenyan animals saw him walking on the trail to visit Glicken-Glocken to see the big clock. But Gerald the Aardvark was too busy eating ants to notice Gilbert. The animals were very cross on him and said, "Look at the veggie Jackal. He was going to see the big clock tower in the middle of the savannah. You've never been there." But the honey badger twins, Andy and Mandy, wasn't very cross at Gilbert at all. They called out, "Be careful, Mr. Jackal." "I'll do my best, you two," Gilbert said, and he would continue to hustle away to Glicken-Glocken. When Gilbert was arrived at Glicken-Glocken, he's just sitting there, and he called out, "Hello? Does any human inside the village?" But he did, until a human angel comes out of the gate. "Hello," barked Gilbert. "Who are you?" "Greetings, Mr. Jackal," said the angel. "I'm Mare Angel. Who are you?" "I'm Gilbert," answered Gilbert. "We animals heard the noise coming from the distance." "Oh," Mare Angel exclaimed, "you mean you heard my magic clock." The numbers on his face was 11 ruby jewels, and his hands were carved out with the purest ivory. And to mark every hour, one silver cock crowing, 2 basset hound trumpeters came out and playing, and my sister Ginger and little golden angel singing about rhyming time. "You mean this?" Gilbert yelled. "Have you got your own clock?" "Yep," answered Mare Angel. "I owned this clock was 30 years before we moved to Masai Mara, Kenya. The people of Glicken-Glocken were very proud of my wonderful clock. So proud was no villain in this town was neither of the clock or a watch of his own. What do you say, Gilbert? Can you protect my clock?" "Okay," Gilbert barked. "I won't let you down. I'll go get my friend first." And he left Glicken-Glocken to get help. After Gilbert left Glicken-Glocken, he went for help. He ran into Gwen's house. He howled out, "Gwen! I need your help, my trusted friend!" Gwen was coming out of her house. She responded, "Hey, Gilbert, what is your emergency?" "I met a human angel named Mare Angel," replied Gilbert. "She lived in Glicken-Glocken, who owned her magic clock. She says she wants me to protect her clock. I need your help, Gwen." "Really? Sure, Gil, I'll come with you," Gwen squeaked excitedly, and they set off to Glicken-Glocken. Gilbert and Gwen entered Glicken-Glocken. Gwen was never been so excitement. Gilbert was introduced as Mare Angel to Gwen and said, "Hey, Mare Angel, I'd like to meet my spring-haired friend Gwen. She was going to help us too." "Nice to meet you, Gwen," said Mare Angel. "Alright, I want you two to protect my clock before the villains, so I also want you two to keep lookout for the Dumberg people right next to Glicken-Glocken." "What's a Dumberg?" asked Gilbert. Dumberg is Africa's worst town and land. That evil king of Dumberg who wants to wreck my clock, even he hates animals," Mare Angel explained. "Okay," barked Gilbert, "we'll guard your clock for you." "Thanks, guys," Mare Angel said happily, and she walked away. Across the river from Glicken-Glocken stood the Africa's ugly town of Dumberg. The wicked king of Dumberg who wants to take over Glicken-Glocken, he wants also rid of animals too, but he was afraid to attack. He said to himself, I have it. I'll stop that big clock, and without watches or clocks in their own, they're not able to use their time. Everything a kid and there'll be confusion, then I will strike." So the king sent his boldest henchman to Glicken-Glocken to stop the clock. Slyly he crept behind a bush. It sneaked through Gilbert and Gwen. He went inside the back of the clock tower. Just then Mare Angel's clock began to strike. The hands on the wonderful clock pointing at 3 as the hitchman tiptoed up the stairs. Quietly he took a big mallet from under his cloak. As Mare Angel's sister Ginger began to sing, "Listen all, hear the shout of children running fast and free. School is out, school's over, the hour is 3, the hours," and the hitchman began to crash. Mare Angel's clock was stopped. Gilbert, Gwen, and Mare Angel was in shock. The clock pointed to 3 and moved no more. "What happened?" Mare Angel shrieked. And Gilbert barked, "Your clock is broken. You didn't tell us you forgot to guard the back door." "Oh, I'm sorry, guys," Mare Angel replied sadly. Just like the king of Dumberg had a plan, all over in the town of Glicken-Glocken was in terrible confusion. The Dumberg king brought his army and they across the river. They will get to the bridge while Glicken-Glocken gets him more confused. The king cried, "Now it is time! Over the bridge and Glicken-Glocken will be ours!" Swiftly the king's soldiers advanced toward Glicken-Glocken. As they before across the bridge, everyone stopped. Mare Angel's clock was mysteriously recovered and fixed by Ginger. And they looked up. Ginger sang again, "Hear me well, oh take care, across that river in the ridge, now come to foe, so beware of Glicken-Glocken to the bridge, now." Gilbert and Gwen were amazed, saying he heard the sound coming from the distance this morning. "Whoa!" yelled Gilbert. "Gwen, do we hear the sound?" "Yes," Gwen squealed. "So that we animals hear from the distance is a wonderful clock." "I know. My sister helped me to fix my clock and it finally worked again," Mare Angel said. Gwen hopped on Gilbert's back and said, "Alright, Gilbert, let's get rid of clock haters." She and Gilbert were rushed to the bridge and drove the evil king and his army back into Dumberg. After they chased him away, Mare Angel was thankful for them. One problem, Gilbert was worried if Mare Angel was angry at him. He and Gwen forgot to guard the clock tower back door. They let the henchmen of Dumberg in to rack the clock. Poor Gilbert was miserable. "I'm sorry we let Glicken-Glocken down," he told Mare Angel. "I thought you forgot to guard the back door." "Gilbert, what are you talking about?" said Mare Angel. "I'm not mad at you. I was grateful you were going to chase the Dumberg people away. How about next time you guard the front door and Gwen will guard the back door?" "Yeah, Gilbert," Gwen said. "You should be happy to protect the clock." And Gilbert felt better. "Nice to meet you, Gwen, Gilbert," Mare Angel said. "Nice to meet you too, Mare Angel," both Gilbert and Gwen said. So Mare Angel went back home, and Gilbert and Gwen also went back home to the savannah. The end.